I think we're coming into an era that is really exciting. There is a collision of extraordinary events. So there's the increase in technology and technical capability that means more than ever there's a level of transparency that allows our customers to engage, whether that's through meters in their home or EVs. Their ability to control and engage their energy usage is going to be quite extraordinary going forward. The other thing that I think is really interesting is that there is a new generation of people coming into the sector who really care about our energy and the survival of the planet and our ability to have a good quality of life and environment. And so the combination of all those ingredients means we've got a great environment in which to make substantial and important changes that we need to make around energy usage and the way we power our planet going forward. The challenge for us, the slightly older, including myself, generation of managers and directors, is to occur as strong, capable leaders who are authentic, because that's a really important quality, particularly for customers and for people entering the workforce. And so that requires listening to customers and understanding what their issues are and building a change narrative around what customers are telling people. So, for example, when I'm working with executives, I will always encourage them to go out and listen to customers and come back with a story in a framework somewhat like this, which goes, I met a customer, and tell a story about who the customer is. This is how we impacted them, good or bad. And this is how I feel about that. And for a senior executive to talk about how they feel, that's sometimes a little bit revolutionary. And where it matches the values of the organisation, that's great. But where it falls short of the values, then it's a real call out. And that shows whether the organisation is true to its values or not. And it calls out particularly the permissioned failures that may have occurred in the past. Then there's the opportunity for the leader to say, so what I'm going to do is this. And that sets them on a path of clear and audacious leadership, particularly around customer experience. And then his call to the team is, here's what we're going to do about it. And that may include a customer experience program that's in play. The combination of an authentic leader and all the ingredients that are going to shape our market for the next few years is really an exciting opportunity for all of us. So silos are absolutely critical. They are most likely to be the place where a program will fail or stumble. Not only silos between departments, but also silos between operations and support services, and particularly if those support services are based in a central kind of corporate office. When I've set up customer experience programs in organisations, in tandem I will set up a colleague experience program as well, where we ask the same question of operational colleagues of what they think of their support operations. So if you're asking a net promoter score of your customers, would you recommend 0 to 10? We ask our colleagues in operations to rate finance, corporate affairs, procurement, all of those departments, IT, rate all of those as well. And that immediately calls out where the support functions are really helping, but it also calls out the gaps in the silos as well. None of that will be new. The issues that our customers experience are exactly the same as the issues our colleagues experience as well. But calling them out and having a conversation around them, setting a set of actions against it that invariably requires work both by operations and the support function, and then making sure that there's a target set around that, particularly at directorate level. So irrespective of whether you're an operational or a support function director, all of you have got a target that deliberately and clearly links you to the customer experience outcome is really key. It sounds quite a radical way of approaching changing the customer and the culture of an organisation, but it's really important. There's when I worked at E.ON,
the head of audit, who was a fairly, he was, I would say, nervous and maybe a little sceptical about the work initially, but now he's absolutely clear he won't manage the business without it, because it's enabled him to have an enduring dialogue with the people he works with to understand what they need to do their job. It also demystified or removed his fear that audit is just going to get a bunch of brickbats every month, or, in terms of feedback, because what the feedback he got was not brickbats, but actually it was, "Hi audit, we don't really understand, help us improve." And so this working on the silos, working on the failure that occurs between the silos, using a tool such as this, yes, it improves customer experience, but also it's an extremely powerful way to build in efficiency into an organisation. Because the coin of customer experience, one side is customer experience, the other side of it is efficiency or lean. So if you improve experience, you definitely going to make your organisation more efficient and reduce your costs. And in this climate, with a lot of our companies who have got heavy legacy and are struggling to work out what to do with, particularly with their central functions, that sort of tool, calling out what are the big kind of known permissioned failures, the elephants in the room, and then starting to tackle those will make a big difference. The conference has been great. What I love about this format is, well, all of us are using common tools, but in fact the challenge is how we implement those tools in our organisation. It's a real puzzle, because each business is a little bit different in the way they adopt change, in their culture, in some of the characters that drive some of those businesses. So meeting people, listening to how they've been tackling similar problems, helps me understand what tools I can take back, and also how I can implement them. And it helps me reflect on my story, what we've achieved so far as a team, but also where are the challenges and the gaps. So it's both therapeutic in that it tells me that lots of people are struggling with similar challenges. It gives me tools to take away, and it provides me with a network that I can then rely on. So it's value on the day and value afterwards.